We are here in Module 1, and today we are going to be talking about customer experience. So let's start out by talking about the difference between customer service and customer experience. Customer service is interaction between a customer and an employee. Customer service is part of customer experience, but customer experience is much broader and includes a lot of brand touch points. A customer experience is the overall perception of your brand as a result of the interactions between your business and a customer throughout the transaction and the relationship. Customer experience encompasses the entire relationship from visiting to purchasing and beyond. This is the way companies stand out from their competition, differentiate themselves, and customer experience has become increasingly more important, especially with social media. It's easy for a customer to spread a bad experience or a good experience very quickly. Now, everything that you do is considered a part of the customer experience. From the marketing that you're going to do about your products and services, to the interaction that your customer is going to have with you on social media and your website, with your team, even what happens after a customer has finished using your product or service and has moved on is part of their customer experience. It all boils down to this. People want to be taken care of, and they want to have a good taste in their mouth about their experience between them and your business. You're going to use the worksheet for this module to give yourself a little bit of a grade on how you're doing with your customer experience. You're going to pull out that worksheet and create a timeline of touch points and things that happen between your customer and your company before, during, and after transaction. Before they buy something from you, how do they find you? What's the visit like? During the transaction, how is the interaction happening? What does the actual customer service look like? After they finish their transaction with your business, what does that look like? Like I just said, we want our customers to leave with a good taste in their mouths. I love this tip I heard from a friend one time. Your first 1,000 customers need a thank you note. Even if they've moved on and they're never going to return to your company, remember to express your appreciation and your gratitude for the time that you spent with them. Now, on this worksheet, I want you to grade each of those touch points that you mapped out on a scale of -5 to +5. +5 means that you're doing great at that touch point. -5 means it's a negative touch point and may even be detracting from your customer experience. Customers might be walking away from your business with a bad taste in their mouth. 0 would be neutral, and it would also mean that you probably want to improve it, but you're not actually causing anything negative to happen in your customer experience. Number 3, connect to the dots and map it out. This will give you a picture, a visual perspective of what you can do to brainstorm ideas for improvement in your customer experience. Start by having a clear customer experience vision and sharing that with your team. Tell your customers how you want them to be treated and how you want them to feel, and then deliver on that promise. They may hold you accountable, but that's going to be totally okay. Make sure your team is all on the same page. Make sure that you share that vision with your team members about how you want customers to feel during their experience with you. You need to be able to trust everyone on your team will interact with a customer in the same amazing way. Your customer experience should be something that your team is proud of. It needs to be part of your team culture. You want to encourage your team to think of ways to improve that customer experience and keep the dialogue open and encourage them to share their ideas with you. And just a little team building tip right here, make sure that when they do share an idea with you, that you tell them it's a great idea and thank them so much for sharing it with you. Never critique ideas. The next tip I have is treat all interactions in your customer experience as one long conversation. What do I mean by this? Well, have you ever been on the phone with some type of service provider? Maybe it's a cell phone or internet provider, and you're frustrated with something, and so you ask to be transferred to a manager, and you have to start over and retell your story from the top. It's completely frustrating, right? Now imagine a different type of customer experience where all those notes are built in. You don't have to re-explain everything. People are coming to you graciously. They understand, they've done their research, they understand where you're coming from. Those type of experiences are where the experience is treated as one long conversation. Everything is seamless, from email to phone to social media, even between departments. Everybody on the team is working together to make sure that that customer never has to re-explain themselves. This leads me to my next point, which is to the customer, your team is all one big team. They are not thinking about you as individuals. So create as much consistency among your team and between those different touch points as possible. In the customer's mind, a department doesn't matter. Team members need to work together so that it looks seamless on the customer's end. This means that you're going to want to work towards creating consistency in processes. My next tip is this: make it easy for them to find information on your website. A website is the first place customers go if they have a question, and most often it's down there in the footer. If I'm looking for a phone number or a link to a customer service department, I'm going to scroll straight to the bottom of a website. So make sure your footer has a lot of information in it. Make sure you link to frequently asked questions page. If you have a phone number, make sure you post it there. If you're a physical location, make sure you have a map, direction, hours of operation, how to contact you. Think about all the different ways that a customer may want to get in touch with your company and make it easy for them to contact you. Also, make sure that if you are providing social media channels as a way to contact you, that you're responding quickly on email and social media. Now, we'll talk more about that later, but I want to say right now, if you're not going to be a quick response on social media, don't tell customers to contact you there. That's totally fine. You tell them where they need to contact you, and then just be prepared to staff those channels appropriately. Now, if customers are asking the same questions over and over again, this is a little bit of a red flag that you need to address an issue. Make that information clear on your website or product description. Share about it on social media. Include it in frequently asked questions. Use that information as feedback to create content, and we'll talk about content more in a later customer lesson. Now, my final tip is this: listen to your customers. In the next module, we're going to talk about something called a feedback loop. I want you to pay very close attention when we get to that lesson, because you're going to want to build a feedback loop into your customer experience, and you're also going to want to make sure that you are reacting appropriately and taking action on that feedback. This is what's going to make your company better and stronger and improve your customer experience even more. If you have any questions, you can use the link below. Click on it to submit a question via our form, or you can always post your questions in the Slack group. I'll see you in the next lesson.